If you've been told that your AMH means you can't get pregnant naturally, I want you to stay with me for the next 15 minutes because what I'm about to share with you might completely change your fertility journey. I'm going to show you why low AMH isn't actually your main problem and what really is. More importantly, I'm going to share real stories of women I've coached who were told they needed donor eggs or IVF to conceive, but instead got pregnant naturally by addressing what was truly blocking their fertility. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, also known as the Fertility Expert. For over 2 decades, I've specialized in helping women with low AMH, diminished ovarian reserve, and complex fertility challenges achieve their dream of becoming moms using natural and functional medicine approaches. And I've got to tell you something. Low AMH is probably one of the most misunderstood aspects of fertility. Your doctors see that number and immediately assume that you can't conceive naturally. But in my program, I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of women with low AMH who have been able to conceive and have healthy babies. Just last week, 2 different women in my HOPE program told me they were pregnant. One of them is 41 years old with AMH under 0.5, and she's had multiple losses and chemical pregnancies. Now she's finally pregnant and holding strong. Before we go any further though, I want to offer you something that's going to help you right now, immediately. I've created a free guide called The Proven 6 Ways to Improve Egg Quality in 90 Days. This guide gives you specific, actionable strategies that you can start implementing today to optimize your egg quality, regardless of your AMH numbers. You can find that link to download it in the description below. Make sure you grab that. It's completely free and it's going to give you clarity on what you need to focus on right now. Okay, here's where we're going to cover in today's video. I'm going to walk you through the 5 hidden root causes that actually prevent pregnancy in women with low AMH. These are the issues your doctor probably isn't testing for or addressing. And more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly what you can do about each one of them. Because here's the truth. AMH is just a number. It's a snapshot of your ovarian reserve at one moment in time, but it doesn't tell you the whole story about your fertility. It doesn't tell you about the quality of your eggs, the health of your uterus, how your body is functioning overall, or what's blocking your ability to conceive. And that's exactly what you need to figure out first. Let me start by sharing a few quick success stories to give you hope, because I know how discouraging it can be when you get that low AMH diagnosis. Whitney came to me at 40. Her initial lab showed that her AMH was 0.03, essentially undetectable, and her FSH was 17.6. 6 months later, after working through the HOPE program and addressing her root causes, her AMH more than doubled to 0.17 and her FSH dropped to 6.8. And this was a natural cycle. No hormones, no medications. Now, is 0.17 still considered very low? According to conventional standards, absolutely. But this shows that these numbers can be improved with the right approach. Targeted nutrition, specific supplements, lifestyle changes, and addressing what's really going on in your body or her body. Then there's Ivana. Her AMH was low at 0.05, and she was told by multiple clinics that it wasn't possible for her to conceive naturally. 10 months later, after systematically working through our program, her AMH reached 0.58. She didn't use any hormone therapy, and she's continuing to work towards her goal of 1.5. What's the difference between these women and the ones who stay stuck? It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's addressing the actual root causes that are suppressing their fertility and causing their low AMH levels. And that's exactly what I want to show you today. What those root causes are and how to address them. Now, before I dive into those 5 root causes, I want you to know that I'm here for you. If you've been trying to get pregnant without success and you're tired of hearing just do IVF or your numbers are too low, I want to personally invite you to book a complimentary fertility consultation with my team. On this call, we're going to take a deep dive into your unique fertility journey. We'll uncover the potential roadblocks that are keeping you from getting pregnant. We'll map out a clear, personalized roadmap to help you optimize your fertility naturally. This isn't a sales call. This is a genuine assessment where we look at your health history, your test results, your symptoms, and we figure out what's really going on. Then we'll show you exactly what needs to happen next. You can find that link to book your fertility assessment in the description below. I really want to encourage you to take that step, especially if what I'm sharing today resonates with you. All right, let's get into the 5 hidden root causes that are actually blocking your fertility, not your AMH numbers. The first hidden cause I see all the time in my practice is blood sugar dysregulation. And I know what you're going to think. But Dr. Sklar, I don't have diabetes. My glucose levels are normal. And that's exactly what your doctor said, right? Here's what they're not telling you. You don't have to be diabetic or even pre-diabetic for blood sugar imbalances to wreak havoc on your fertility. Even mild insulin resistance or blood sugar fluctuations throughout the day can accelerate ovarian aging and suppress AMH production. So why does this matter? Well, because when your blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day, it creates a cascade of hormonal chaos. It increases cortisol, which we'll talk about in just a moment. It creates inflammation throughout your body, and it directly impacts your ovaries' ability to produce quality eggs and maintain healthy hormone levels. We're also now realizing that even small forms of insulin resistance are causing more systemic inflammation, and some research are even considering it an autoimmune-like condition because of how it affects your entire body. Balancing blood sugar is absolutely crucial for stabilizing hormones like progesterone and LH, which are essential for conception and maintaining a pregnancy. So what you can do about this right now? Well, first, focus on eating balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber at every meal. This is not about going low carb or keto. It's about balance. You want to avoid those blood sugar spikes and crashes. Second, avoid skipping meals. When you skip meals, your blood sugar drops, cortisol spikes to compensate for it, and you end up on this roller coaster that damages your fertility. Third, keep processed sugars and refined carbohydrates to a minimum. I'm not saying you can never have a dessert, but we need to be conscious of how often we're consuming these foods that spike blood sugar rapidly. And here's something that's very powerful. If you want to truly understand how your body responds to different foods, I want you to consider wearing a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. This is a small device that tracks your blood sugar in real time throughout the day. I coach members of my Hope program to use CGMs when appropriate, and it's been a game changer for many women. One member couldn't figure out what was going on with her blood sugar until she did this. She knew something was wrong. She thought she was eating healthy, but the CGM revealed that her breakfast was spiking her glucose every single morning. Once she saw that data, she was able to adjust her meals and her exercise patterns. And then 3 months later, after her blood sugar regulated, she was able to get pregnant. We didn't even focus heavily on egg quality supplements. We just fixed this one foundational issue for her. In the Hope program, this is one of the first things that we address because blood sugar balance sets the foundation for everything else to work properly. When your blood sugar is stable, your hormones can be balanced. When your hormones are balanced, your body can focus on reproduction instead of just trying to survive metabolic chaos. That is essential for fertility and your day-to-day health. The second hidden root cause is chronic stress and cortisol dysregulation. Now, I know everyone talks about stress and fertility, but let me be really clear about something. Stress isn't just in your head. It shows up in your hormones and it shows up in your fertility. When you're under chronic stress, and this can be emotional stress, it can be physical stress, or even chemical stress from toxins, your adrenal glands pump out cortisol. This is your body's survival hormone. And when your cortisol is chronically elevated, it directly suppresses your reproductive hormones. Your body essentially says, we're in survival mode. Now is not a safe time to get pregnant. And it diverts its resources away from reproduction and toward keeping you alive and safe and healthy. This depletes your adrenal reserves, disrupts hormone signaling, and can suppress both AMH and egg quality over time. I see this constantly in my practice. Women who are doing everything right on paper, but they're under massive stress and their bodies just won't conceive. What your doctor's not telling you about this is that stress isn't just about feeling anxious. It's about how your nervous system is functioning day to day. Are you in fight or flight mode constantly? Are you sleeping poorly because your cortisol rhythm is reversed? Are you waking up exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep? These are all signs that your stress response system is dysregulated and it's blocking your fertility or potentially blocking it. In my HOPE program, we use something called the Dutch hormone testing to look at your cortisol rhythms throughout the day. This shows us exactly when your cortisol is high, when it's low, and how it's affecting your other hormones. Then we can create a targeted plan to restore balance. That plan might include adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha or rhodiola to support your adrenals. It might include specific breathwork practices or nervous system regulation techniques. We often recommend acupuncture, which is incredibly effective for calming the stress response and improving blood flow to your reproductive organs. And then sleep optimization is critical. If your cortisol is too high at night, you can't get into deep restorative sleep. And that's when your body is supported by repairing and regenerating, including your eggs. So let me share a story about this. I had a patient whose labs all looked fine. Her AMH wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. Her cycles were regular. Everything seemed to be functioning okay on paper. But when I started asking deeper questions, and this is so important because we get used to feeling a certain way and we don't even realize it's abnormal. We just think it's what it should be. When I asked about her digestive system, she admitted that she had painful digestion and stomach cramps. When I asked about stress, she told me she was constantly overwhelmed. We ran testing and her cortisol levels were sky high all day long. This was impacting her digestive system because when you're in fight or flight mode, your body shuts down digestion. Blood flow goes away from your gut and towards your muscles to help you run from danger. That's the fight or flight response. So we worked on two things simultaneously. First, we regulated her stress response and her cortisol levels through targeted supplements, through nervous system work and lifestyle changes. She learned how to actually manage her stress, not just think positively about it. Second, we addressed her digestive issues, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Within 4 months of balancing her cortisol and fixing her gut health, she got pregnant. We never even focused heavily on egg quality supplementation because that wasn't her root issue. As your fertility coach in the HOPE program, I help you identify your hidden stressors, the ones you don't even realize are there. And we build a comprehensive plan to manage them and support your nervous system to create a fertile internal environment. That's what optimal fertility really looks like. The third root cause is inflammation and gut health. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is often the most important one. If your gut is inflamed, your fertility suffers. Period. End of story. That's the reality. Low-grade chronic inflammation in your gut is often driven by things like gut dysbiosis. That means an imbalance in your gut bacteria or leaky gut, which is technically called intestinal permeability. When your gut lining is compromised, particles that should stay in your digestive tract leaked into your bloodstream, and this triggers an immune response throughout the entire body. This systemic inflammation can quietly damage egg health and suppress AMH over time. So many women are walking around with gut inflammation and they don't even know it because it's just become their normal. Your doctor probably ran your basic labs and said everything looks fine, but they're not looking at your gut function. They're not testing your inflammation markers. They're not asking about your digestion in detail. In the HOPE program, this is where I start with everybody. We have to support healthy digestion first and foremost, because this sets the stage for every other system in your body. It allows every other system to function properly. If you're not spending time addressing your digestive health and eating properly, you will be impacting your fertility. It's a non-negotiable. We need to prioritize gut health. So here's what we do. As part of our core protocol, everyone goes through a specific gut healing phase. But for women who have ongoing digestive issues, like bloating, constipation, diarrhea, food sensitivities, even skin problems, or they just haven't been getting results with hormone balancing, we often order a comprehensive stool analysis. This test looks at everything going on in your digestive tract. It shows us how your gut lining is doing. It reveals what bacteria are present, both good and bad. It shows us if you have parasites, yeast overgrowth, or other infections. And it tells us about inflammation levels and how well your digestion digesting and absorbing nutrients. This allows us to create a proper plan to address your specific root cause issues. Because I can't give you a generic gut healing protocol and expect it to work if you have a specific infection or imbalance that needs targeted treatment. I get this question all the time. Where did this come from? How did I get a parasite? Or I have candida overgrowth. How did that happen? The truth is, we don't always know. We can't always answer the question of where it came from. But what we do know is that it's there now and we need to address it. Let me share a recent example. 2 months ago, a woman joined my whole program. She started with our foundational detox and we began supporting her gut health. I recognized pretty quickly that there was something else going on. So we dug a little bit deeper with additional testing. When those results came back, they showed multiple gut infections and significant inflammation. I created a specific protocol for her to clear those infections and heal her gut lining. Within 2 months of implementing that protocol, she was feeling incredible. Her energy was back, her bloating was gone, and her cycles improved. 2 months after that, she was pregnant. And here's the thing, I didn't do one thing to specifically improve her egg quality. Not one supplement targeted to egg quality. I didn't put her on her traditional fertility protocol with all the usual supplements. None of that, because that wasn't the root cause of why she wasn't getting pregnant. Her gut inflammation was so severe that her body was in survival mode. Once we fixed that foundation, her body was able to conceive naturally. In a proper fertility assessment through the HOPE program, we explore symptoms that point to gut imbalances. If needed, we run this targeted testing. And then once we get those results back, we create a step-by-step protocol to repair and restore proper gut function, reduce inflammation throughout your body, and restore proper hormone balance that will improve your fertility. This is why gut health is so critical. And it's why I start here with almost everyone in my program. Because no amount of egg quality supplements will work if your gut is inflamed and you can't absorb the nutrients. And your body won't prioritize reproduction if it's fighting infections and dealing with systemic inflammation. So we need to clear all that out first and then set a proper foundation for you to move forward. The fourth hidden root cause is environmental toxins. And I'm going to tell you, this could be the biggest thing you change that makes the difference in your fertility. Just 3 weeks ago, I got test results back for one of my program members. She had done everything right: clean eating, filtered water, organic foods, all the supplements. She was meticulous, but she still wasn't getting pregnant and her AMH was declining. We ran an environmental toxin panel and it came back showing 20 different toxins in her system. 20. She was shocked. So was I. Where did this come from? She asked. I've been so careful. Here's the reality. We're exposed to toxins every single day, 80,000 of them. They're in our air, our water, our food, our personal care products, our cleaning products, our furniture, our clothing. Even if you're doing everything you can to minimize exposure, you're still being exposed. Toxins like BPA, phthalates, and pesticides are endocrine disruptors. That means they literally disrupt your hormones. They mess with your ovarian reserve and can suppress AMH production. Even your skincare products or the containers you store your food in could be harming your fertility. What your doctor isn't telling you is that these toxins bioaccumulate in your body over time. They get stored in your fat cells and they continuously release into your bloodstream where they interfere with your fertility at a cellular level. So what did we do for this woman? First, I put her on a targeted environmental toxin detox protocol. This is a gentle detox, not some trendy juice cleanse, that helps her body eliminate these stored toxins and support her liver function, which is responsible for detoxification. We use specific nutrients like NAC and glutathione to support phase 2 liver detoxification. We use milk thistle to protect and regenerate liver cells. And we make sure she's having daily bowel movements because that's how your body eliminates these toxins. But detoxing is only half the equation. We also need to reduce ongoing exposure. So she went back into her house and did an audit. We helped her identify hidden sources of toxins, things she wasn't even aware of. She switched out her plastic food storage containers for glass. She replaced her personal care products with clean, non-toxic alternatives. She started buying organic for the specific Dirty Dozen produce list. She got rid of fragrance products and scented candles, which are loaded with phthalates. These changes aren't about perfection. They're about progress and reducing your total toxic burden. This thorough detox was the initial step for her to restore proper reproductive function, improve her AMH, and optimize her ovarian health. And this is part of my personalized coaching for all of you in the HOPE program. You don't get one generic plan. You get multiple targeted protocols based on what your specific test results show. And for many women, this environmental toxin protocol is the first critical step because we need to clear the deck, so to speak, and create a proper foundation to build from. But remember, we're exposed to toxins every day. So this isn't just a one-time thing. This is an ongoing awareness that you'll develop as part of your fertility journey and your overall health moving forward. In your fertility assessment, we can discuss whether toxin testing makes sense for you based on your history and symptoms. And then we create a personalized detox plan that's gentle but effective based on your body and your specific exposure. Now, the fifth hidden root cause is mitochondrial health and how it impacts your AMH and egg quality. I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the one that all of you focus on most. And you probably thought that this should be the number one thing on my list. I actually almost didn't even include this in this video because so many women I work with spend all their time, effort, and money on supporting mitochondrial health and egg quality. They're taking every supplement under the sun: CoQ10, PQQ, NAD+, resveratrol, ALA, you name it, they're taking it. But here's what I want you to understand. This is not the main thing that I see clinically when I work with couples. The last four causes that I just talked about, blood sugar, stress, gut health, toxins, those are far more common for actual root causes blocking fertility than just poor mitochondrial function. Now, should we be supporting mitochondrial health to support AMH levels and ovarian function? Absolutely yes. Because as we age, our mitochondrial function naturally diminishes. Your eggs need energy to mature and fertilize, and that energy comes from your mitochondria inside each egg. The healthier your mitochondria, the better your egg quality and potentially your AMH. But should everything be about egg quality and mitochondrial health? Absolutely not. Because what I find is that when you focus only on this, you ignore all the other areas that actually require more attention and will make a bigger difference. Many of you are already overdosing on mitochondrial supplements because you're desperate to improve your eggs. I'm not saying that these supplements are bad. They're not. But they're not enough by themselves. If you do all the steps that I talked about earlier in this video, if you balance your blood sugar, if you regulate stress and cortisol, heal your gut and reduce inflammation, and reduce your toxic burden, you will see a significant improvement in your overall egg quality, your overall health, and your reproductive function naturally. Now, what can you take specifically for egg quality? The number one nutrient is CoQ10. That's ubiquinol, the active form. This helps mitochondrial function directly. Other mitochondrial supporting supplements include NAC, PQQ, and in some cases, NAD+ precursors. But I also really want you to focus on antioxidants through your food. Berries, dark chocolate, green tea, leafy greens, these all help reduce oxidative stress, protect your eggs, and support cellular health throughout your entire body. Lucky for you, there's a product I was involved in creating that has all these nutrients packed into one supplement. It's called Rejuva Eggs, and it's specifically designed to support and improve egg quality with the right combination of mitochondrial supporters and antioxidants. If you want more information, you can head over to getrejuva.com, and we'll leave a link in the description below as well. But remember, supplements alone aren't the answer. You need the complete approach. That's what the HOPE program provides. After we review your labs, your cycle patterns, your symptoms, and your health history, I build a personalized mitochondrial support protocol to optimize your egg quality. This is especially important if you're over 35 or if you have low AMH. But we don't stop there. We address all 5 of these root causes together because they're all connected. That's what makes the HOPE system so effective. We're not just throwing supplements at the problem. We're systematically uncovering and addressing what's actually blocking your fertility. So let me ask you this. After everything I've shared today, does any of this resonate with you? Have you been focusing only on your AMH number while ignoring these deeper root causes? Have you been told that there's nothing you can do, or that your only option is IVF or donor eggs? If so, I want you to know that's not true. There is so much you can do, and there is hope for you to conceive naturally even with low AMH. Low AMH doesn't mean no hope. It means your body is asking for deeper support, and that support exists. You can improve your fertility, you can feel empowered again, and you can get pregnant. If this resonates with you and you're tired of hearing there's nothing you can do, I want to invite you one more time to book your complimentary personalized fertility assessment. This is where we get to the why behind your low AMH and map out a real plan to address it. This is the first step in your new fertility journey, guided by science, compassion, and a functional medicine approach designed specifically for your needs. You've been doing this alone for too long. Let's change that together. You can find the link to book your assessment in the description below. My team and I are ready to support you. And remember to download that free guide on the 6 proven ways to improve egg quality in 90 days. That link is also in the description. Start implementing those strategies today while you're waiting for your assessment. And before you go, make sure you hit that like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos where I share more strategies to optimize your fertility naturally. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these 5 root causes resonated with you most? Are you dealing with blood sugar issues, chronic stress, gut problems, toxin exposures, or have you been focusing only on egg quality? Let me know in the comments. Remember, there is a way for you to become a mom, even if the path looks different than you expected. The HOPE program has helped hundreds of women just like you, and it can help you too. Until the next video, stay hopeful and stay fertile.